Baraka the Salah to our Muslim families and friends. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Moriah.
Jumps are in the building.
Yo, yo, yo.
Like the nice rosy thingy going on.
I'm feeling
Cute.
really girly today with my beautiful abeke gele.
What's it called? Is that what it called?
Abeke gele,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I can actually tie it myself. I do tie gele, but this is by my Becky. It's not Blessing, it's Regina.
Ah,
yeah.
Cool.
I saw something on my way here. So, you know, the FRSC guys who stopped me to stop a truck, they usually stay at one junction going on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. They'd stopped this very long truck, even blocked him with their own vehicle so he couldn't escape. Guess what? He climbed over the median to the other side, to the express, and
escaped.
escaped.
Oh my goodness. This morning.
This morning. And I'm like, you see, it's a risky job that they do.
Yes, it is. And it would be good if they sort of had like cameras, even take pictures of these drivers so that when
They
they
do
do
take
escape.
pictures now. I've seen a few.
So
Yeah.
when they take off, you can get you wherever you go.
Yeah. But we are in a very happy mood regardless of all of that. We thank God for life and the holidays.
And we should celebrate the FRSC guys.
Yes, they're
Hard work
doing,
they
I
do.
mean,
Amazing
they're,
job.
honestly,
Well
they're
done.
very, what's the word? They're just rightly put
Committed,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Topkwe. Hi, nice gilly. Be yourself.
Yes.
No, Regina. Regina. It was last minute. I was trying to do myself.
I
but
saw
my
you
hands,
struggling.
yeah, my hands, I don't know. I've been exercising, so my hands just was hurting. It's a bit different anyway. So the studio didn't open last week as planned, and I was doing an Instagram video and I explained what happened. And somebody was saying, why are you smiling? I realized a lot of people get down when things don't work out. Like, we tend to wear this depressed look, like I walked, it didn't work out. If it doesn't work out, so what?
Yeah.
Something better would
You guys
come.
postponed the opening?
Yes, because my vendors did not show up with the right things at the right time. And so maybe this weekend, maybe would make it 1 year after my last year opening. You know, but I just feel strongly that if it doesn't work out the way I wanted, there's something better is in plan for me.
Yeah.
And that's my
Yeah.
spirit.
There could be a Christmas thing you do, like everybody's like, oh, excited, we're happy,
Yeah.
coming over. Then by that time you set up and it looks really nice.
But Tokwe, it's okay, I think, sometimes to feel bad when things don't work out. You know, we're human,
Emotions
and
are
sometimes
human.
exactly. So we're not trying all
So
the
are
time
you
to
cry laughing or laugh crying?
Next question, do you walk in those shoes?
I actually walked down with the shoes. Yeah.
That means they're comfortable.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they look and they're really nice.
Tokwe, you bought something for yourself.
there's this-
We thank God.
I think that tall people should be wearing high heels, but I mean,
It gives you, it gives you swag when you wear
Poise.
heels. Yeah, the poise. Poise is the right word. So when you wear heels, you sort of like are forced to walk a little bit slowly and count your steps very ladylike.
Yeah, it gives
So,
you poise.
anyways, how you doing, Mariah?
I'm doing good. I think I was emotionally duped yesterday. I went to pick up my kids from tennis, and then this woman comes up to me and she's like, oh, you're so beautiful. You look like a model, the way you walk. Immediately, women compliment me like that. My guard just goes up. I'm like, okay, what does she want? And then she was talking about she's been trying to lose weight and everything. So I'm, okay, so I open up a bit. I'm like, okay, she's just trying to lose weight. So, you know, we started talking about, she was selling real estate, supplements, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why did you have to do that? So I was even right the first time when I thought, you know, that's what you're trying to do. Why don't you just come sell your market instead of telling me all those things?
That's a gimmick that works.
Called, is it break
I
the
don't-
ice?
I don't
Yes,
like it.
Icebreaker. So
You know what for it?
Okay, so now what has happened is that we've exchanged numbers, but I'm not calling her. I feel duped, man. She lied to me.
but you actually look good.
Yeah, I
And the
do.
compliments were real.
Okay, but the thing is that she had an agenda. She was not being
But they have
honest.
taught us now, Miriam, that when you have an agenda,
Yes.
look for, she was honest, look for something to praise first, and then enter after.
Anyways,
Mariah, where's the ram today? Just tell us.
in fact, they brought the ram yesterday.
Hey, Momo.
So
I
that-
knew
the,
it.
the Oga that sends us rams finally sent rams yesterday. So I got one and I sent it to my mother's house immediately. It's like I can't kill. I don't do killing in my house. So I sent it to my mom's house. They do the killing, the everything.
And they just bring the
They'll
bag.
just bring
the fried meat.
No,
fried meat.
It's fried now. Yeah, that's what we
No,
usually
as
get
in
every
even
year.
you do not do the
I
frying.
don't touch that. Sorry, I don't
Oh, I
do
like that arrangement.
Just bring with the basins and everything. I just come to my house and then I
Then you
share.
share. Okay, I'll bring my Ziploc bag because I know the one you use is small. I have a big one.
Okay, we'll talk about our salad plans today.
Yeah.
Let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, thanks for staying with us. We'll breeze through this real quickly. The Punch. Tinubu's 2023 presidential ambition, reason for supporting Buhari, says Saraki. Here we see Mount Arafat. People here in Mecca, actually. Amos Narek Bashar Ahmed Makarfi seek prayers for Nigeria. Are they over there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. NECO releases results over 70% pass English and mathematics. Two women buy day-old twins for 1.8 million naira in Imo State. Nigeria affords FIFA hammer as federal government recognizes Pinnick. I won't surrender to corruption, Buhari vows. U.S. blames killings on Nigerians on reign of impunity. Okay, let's take the human interest. Then there's a story, cult member battles mother for money ritual. Did anybody take that story? Oh, very good. So go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to take the
Let's take the
Chizoba.
kid story first.
Yeah. No, I
twins.
wanted to take the twin story. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so Chizoba Eze and Amaka Eze were arraigned by the Imo State Police Command for allegedly paying for two twin babies, Emanuela and Emmanuel, boy and girl, at the rate of 1.8 million naira.
Wow.
They were arraigned alongside 6 other women who usually, so Amaka and Chizoba are from Enugu, you know, but they did the purchase in Humaya in Abia State. And so they said this is a, what they call it? Cartel, and it's the norm over there. So parents should be careful who they leave their babies with.
Wow.
I wanted to shame the other ladies also.
So before, they usually do it officially, where they get women pregnant and
Have baby factories.
Baby factories. Well,
Yeah,
they've
baby factories.
demolished all the baby factories. Now they're doing it.
So Commissioner NWRM is actually the PPRO in Imo State. Named the other ladies as Teresa Asiegbu, Chioma Emeka, Happiness Peter, Martina Nwadike, and Mathaya Ojimba.
Right.
They are all the suspects. They've been
Steal the
arrested. Yeah, so what they do is steal the babies. They kidnap and abduct, you know. So from, maybe they come to your house, or I'm house girl one day, and, you know,
So are
the
these
babies
just
are gone.
these sellers and buyers that were
So the
caught?
other women that I've named are the buyers and sellers. The two, Chizoba and Amaka, were the ones who
that
paid
paid for the
1.8
baby.
million
Wow,
for the
goodness.
babies.
Do you have the story of the cult
I
member?
have the other story also. His name is, okay, his mother's name, Alice Akinola. This 29-year-old man, Mr. Akinola, had gone to talk to his mom in their house. This is in Lagos State too. And said, Mom, I want to talk to you. Yeah, come. From inside the shop, she now went into the flat. She did not know. As she entered, he had this stick that had nails all around it, and hit her, got her iron, hit her, got stabilizer, hit anyway. She fell down in a pool of her blood.
Was he normal?
It was normal. It's for ritual purposes. He had handkerchief. He needed his mom dead for ritual purposes. He was trying to use her for money.
Lagos.
Yes.
So was it her screams that got? How was he?
So her grandson came into the house, found her in a pool of her blood.
Is that
took
the
her to
father?
hospital. No.
that's the one.
Her grandson. Anyway, the police are on it. He's been arrested. She's in an undisclosed hospital, and the police commissioner, Edgar, actually is the one paying for her treatment.
Oh, goodness, good.
Edgar is really
Moving on
lucky.
to the
sorry.
nation.
She didn't
Buhari
pass it.
orders security chiefs to step up anti-terror battle. Oyo government, Ayefele argue over demolition. Lunatic stabs Ekiti monarch to death. What pursued me from APC by Saraki. So this
Lunatic that
yes,
stabbed
the
Onishia of Otoro or Bagbade Boguse. I'm sorry.
Kole in Ekiti State.
Okay, so they said he. Okay, good. So he goes in. This man, who they think is, well, he's a lunatic. He has mental issues. They say he walks into the palace as the Oba was walking out to get into his car and stabs him.
Imagine.
In broad daylight.
Imagine.
And the man is dead. So it got the youths of the community angry. They stormed his house.
Something
and
is
everything.
happening.
Yeah,
Stormed
so
someone's house,
no, the madman's house.
Oh, he has a
so
house.
yes, he lives with his mother, and so they stormed the house. The thing
Why,
is, the man is going to be buried.
Nima sent me something that we're very unaware of the psychological issues that a lot of people are facing these days. We need to be carrying ourselves to hospitals now to just be getting checked once in a while.
Right. Let's move on now to Vanguard. Tinubu after me for blocking his VP ambition, says Saraki.
Apparently nobody is interested.
29-year-old man bashes mom's head for money ritual. Let's see. Court halts EFCC's investigations of Benue's accounts. 19 killed as Boko Haram hits Borno village. Oyo government Ayefele bicker over demolition of music house. It's an unfair act, says Falana. Obagbadebo stabbed to death in Ikiti. Talked about that already.
Imagine that.
So,
should we just quickly take the major headline,
Yes,
the back and forth between the Tinubu Media Center and Saraki spokespeople? Yesterday, we took the story where Saraki, where Tinubu was saying that Saraki is left because he wanted automatic tickets in the APC. Saraki has responded to say that usually he will not respond to Tinubu because he respects him very much, but that the reason Tinubu is unhappy with him was because he blocked his Muslim ticket that Tinubu wanted to be vice to Buhari in 2015. You know, and I'm just watching the drama. Let's just see how it all plays out.
moving on to New Telegraph. Tinubu under fire. Picture here of displaced person delivers quadruplets in Zamfara. 4 beautiful children. Father, Lord Almighty. Army kills 21 herdsmen in Benue, loses 1 soldier. Let's see, is any other human interest? Federal government pays 72.1 billion as military pension gratuity. Let's talk about these babies.
Yeah, so internally displaced person, her name is Zainab Salisu, in a camp in Zamfara, just had quadruplets. That's 4 babies at once.
You can't say that one is in vitro now. That one, that's
No.
Yeah.
In fact, it's so natural. She's actually had 7 deliveries before these ones, and among those 7 deliveries, she had twins. So this is just a natural person, and natural
Auntie.
way. But
See those that are
also,
looking for children and pay 1.5
you know,
million
when
naira.
we first saw this story, remember, Mariah was saying, "Oh, what a beautiful story," and I was saying, "Yes, it is a beautiful story for a mother to have babies, but you know the conditions in which she had the baby, they had to run away from their homes because of the killing."
Excuse me, I
She had
have one question.
antenatal
There's
just
family planning.
once.
There's family planning.
Bound,
Number
what's
7,
that?
family planning. They've had multiples, family planning.
Okay.
7 children before. What again are you looking for?
Okay, my
1.8 million naira she's looking for. You never know if she wants to sell babies.
that's a different person we're talking about. This one is not
No, we're saying that
Keep having children.
if you keep having them, what will you do with them?
Exactly.
Probably you want to monetize that process of easy delivery for you
You know,
or
this
something.
woman is running for her life from bandits in her state. So she's
get
staying in
family
an
planning.
IDP
How
camp.
did she get pregnant?
Okay, you guys
She has
But
a
they have to
husband.
console themselves
I'm
now.
asking. Is
She
this
has
her
a husband. She
You
has
are
a
running for your
husband.
life.
Yes.
And you guys are getting busy.
She has a
Yeah, now.
husband. So she got pregnant by her husband. What's the problem?
Process of releasing and finding happiness, you know,
Right.
the happiness ministry.
If I
But
was
there's
in an
family planning.
IDP
You know-
camp, I won't be thinking of that. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm
madam.
sorry.
That's
You
the
were
only
not
source
in-
of joy they have.
Okay, one, you're not in the.
Distraction.
Yeah,
You
it's
are
not
not.
joy time. We're trying to get out of
Okay.
IDP.
We just hope that there are hospitals or those sort of people
Yes,
that they can
amen,
give it,
amen.
because she had those babies through a traditional attendant. So there's no hospital or anything.
One man
Maybe
come
they
and
should
touch
go
me
around
in
those
IDP
people
camp.
and give them medicines or contraceptives or something.
Yes.
Shouldn't you be strategizing how we're going to leave this place?
I
It is
think
this matter
Red
you're
Cross
not-
should also go
But
there
she was
and
pregnant
do-
outside the
Moving on
camp.
to Daily Sun, please.
Family
Anyway, God
planning,
will
are
be
they
with
not
these
going to
children
those camps?
because they didn't ask to come to this
That's the
world. So
question.
God
Are
will
they
just
going
help
to
us
camp?
to raise them well.
Amen.
Amen. That's all we
11
can pray
children.
for them. Daily Sun. Tinubu plotting to succeed Buhari. As usual, remember, Osun State always provides the train to
For
bring their
December.
people.
from Lagos to the
Yes, every December.
The train is here.
Okay, the train is here.
Holiday makers waiting to board free train organized by the Osun State government in commemoration of the Salah
Old
festival.
train.
Old train. Buhari expresses worry over Northeast security. We follow due process in demolition of Ayefele's music house, or your government insists. Buhari Dogara, governors Kalu preach peace at Salah. IPOP, Owerri women remanded in prison custody.
Apparently, Ayefele is a major story. We're still talking about it later.
Herdsmen, 15 herdsmen that were killed by military men in
Yes.
Maiduguri. I thought
Yeah,
I was going to take that story. Go ahead.
Okay, so there were 21 armed, well, according to that one, 21 armed headsmen were killed in Benue State. The Operation Whirlstorm, I think is what it's called, the the Nigerian army, caught them as they were in a group with a large cattle. So they were sort of
That's
in between the cattle, and the Nigerian army sort of, they came in contact with them. There was exchange of fire, and because of that, they were able to separate the herdsmen from the cattle. A few of them were killed. 21 of them, a few of them ran away with gunshots, but they were also able to arrest suspects.
Wow.
You know,
That's
so
a
that's
good
that's
one.
very
The
good.
Nigerian army actually mentioned that they dealt with intelligence, you know, to get
They have
them.
to
They
run off.
lost one man,
Yes,
but
one
we
too.
must commend them
Right.
for...
We have to run off. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on front page review. Ayefele, you notice we skipped Ayefele straight because we have the commissioner for information from Oyo State here to help us get some clarity on what happened concerning the Ayefele demolition. But first, just to celebrate Salah with our Muslim brothers and sisters, when we come back, we just ask you, what are you doing for Salah? Very quickly, and then we'll go into the Ayefele discussion. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
To shout out.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're talking about Salah. What are your plans? What are you doing? Please call us in. Let's see. Let's know whose house there's
We're
plenty
going.
meat, so we can, stop by your house. But we have to say hello to Nima.
Yes.
Barka Salah, Nima, Akasha
Nima.
Zibiri,
So we'll shop your meat.
the entire Zibiri family. Congratulations, Barka Salah.
And
Eid
the
Mubarak.
Akashats.
Akashats, yes.
Yeah.
But that's what I meant. Akashat Zibiri.
Akashat is
Akashat is her parent.
Her parents,
And
okay.
Zibiri is her parents-in-law,
gotcha.
yeah.
So,
And also she asked us to shout out to a dear friend. His wife is her birthday today. So on behalf of your husband and Nima, Taiwo Benedicta Oladimeji Tinubu.
not on the show.
You do a shout out. So have a wonderful birthday.
Nima,
I wish you
goodness.
long
Yeah,
life and
yeah,
prosperity.
go. You didn't come to the show. Yes, you are sending your shout out to somebody.
Meanwhile, I asked her, we're celebrating Salah. Why is it us Christians that are celebrating? She has to cut the meat
Yes,
and fry it and say,
and
don't
share
worry.
it.
That's how we bring meat
But I
to
must
you.
also give a shout out to my family, the
very
entire
true.
Fuja family.
Fuja for life.
Wherever you are, in Dosumu, in Shitao, wherever it is. Happy
In
Salah.
America, because
In
Mom
America,
says
yes. Everywhere you guys are, the entire Fuja family. Barka de Salah to
Yeah,
you.
and for me as well, Barka de Sallah, Ale Kaimunabadi, to my family, to the family of Alhaji Endina, everybody, we wish you a wonderful celebration
Who am I
today.
going to greet now? Nobody. All of you that are Muslims and are my friends, I love you all. Enjoy the day. Meanwhile,
Ram.
we have our senator in this our zone that does party.
every Salah.
Oh, Ashafa.
I don't
Senator
understand.
Ashafa. Oh, sorry.
I was
She was
building up.
going there.
I was building up. You just poured.
My husband plans to be there. Since I think has been going there from day one. I don't feel important that you are going to that place.
we always go there, and I have it on good authority. You don't understand.
And this year is going to be
Oh,
fun.
is it an open invitation?
Yes, everybody just comes.
The kind of food is not. It's from Chinese to.
So is it today?
Yeah.
Hey, Jehovah.
Today is the
My
main
husband
thing.
plans to be there, but I was thinking that I want to go and do family stuff.
No, but it's usually later. It's
In
later
the evening.
afternoon.
And you come back there at night. Toba Lost City,
So,
Fuja.
we have to be on the show tomorrow morning. Now, how would you do it?
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I like
On
this.
the show, but you know you cannot compare. We're not in the same category. Yeah, I know how to groove, night groove, and show up. You need your sleep. But then that's in the plan. Any other person I'm available, I eat good meat. It has to be soft. My tooth is paining me. So please let it be succulent.
Beggar has a choice.
Beggar
Lord,
with
you.
choice.
You see, call in the show. We want to know what you're doing for Salah, please. Any plans?
Now, my own issue is even very sad. 2 weeks break. I was just eating and sleeping.
No, there's plenty.
I've already put on weight.
You have?
I now said, let me diet small. Let me just try to reduce the food. Oh, today is salad day. Meat, I have 11 o'clock, I have 12 o'clock, I have 4 o'clock.
You alone.
No day in one day.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Even I have like 2 families to visit. But let me take this call from Boma. Boma, are you there? Barka de Salah. Oh, we lost that
lost
call.
him.
Goodness me. So actually, I'm going to Shita first. From Shita, then I'm going to Oniru. Then after that, tomorrow, I'm going to go and sit down with my own ram.
And
to
be
monitor
sharing
the-
it.
Monitor the killing and the cooking. So that, this time.
I've been invited for lunch,
Today?
So, yes, today.
It sounds tush, the way you said the lunch.
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 It's not.
I mean, it's just
it's not
lunch.
Ileya.
Okay, lunch. Okay, I'm going for lunch. So, I have to like 2 places, that have been
Let me
invited.
take Aisha. Aisha, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Barka de Salah.
I see the same ma.
Yes, sir. So what are you doing for Salah?
I'm going out with my mommy.
Oh, how
that's
old
your
are
mommy.
you?
Nice. How old are you, Aisha?
I'm 12 years old.
Oh, regards to your family. So don't eat too much meat, too.
Okay.
Just
Did you
caution
get
it.
Salah dress? Did you get a new
Yes.
dress? Oh, that's nice.
It's very beautiful.
Oh, I'm happy for
You know what
you.
you're gonna do? Take a picture of it. Tag
Ask your
tag
mom.
Ask
TVC
your mom.
Connect. Tell your parents to tag TVC Connect #YourViewTVC so we can actually see your picture. All right. So I think that's pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah.
I wanted to just talk about religious tolerance while we're celebrating Salah today. I grew up eating, I did not know the difference as a child. My
All of
grandmother,
them was celebration.
my grandmother was a Muslim. My grandparents on my father's side were Christian. So all the celebrations, you see the way this person is talking about new dress today, I will also
So
get a new dress.
excited.
I did not know the difference. You know, all of a sudden we started to differentiate, you know, Jesus is the one that I know and things like that. You know, God is one, God is love. Let's just share love.
We have Honorable Karim from Etiosa local government.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, our donuts provider.
Spaghetti meat tomorrow.
Abarka de Salah.
Good Salah.
Everybody.
Good morning,
The
ma'am.
Almighty God will continue to protect you.
Amen.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
We
you.
love you. We love what you're doing. Barika de Salah. I
Barika
want
de
to say
Salah.
special greetings to Mommy Balogun, the wife of the former IG. To
Okay.
say Barika de Salah. And Nima, happy
Yes.
birthday, happy belated birthday. I'm greeting everybody. Morayo,
Thank you.
Please, Mama Adeji, the first. Baby, bye.
Bye.
Don't stay away.
We really love to hear from you. So,
You know, just taking from what Jumake was just saying, there's this, I would like to talk about tolerance as well, and I want to give a shout, is it a shout out, or recognize Malang Abdullahi Abubakar. He was the imam that saved over 300 people who, you know, were caught up in that fight in the Middle Belt in Plateau State. He saved them irrespective of their ethnicity and their religion. So I think it's a good example of religious
What we should be
tolerance.
thinking
Yes,
about
we should be
today's a
doing.
day for you. Like Christians should take this day, visit a Muslim. Because
Yes.
I'm taking my kids out. I'm going
Uninvited,
the entire
Seth.
family members. So you see that we are part of the Muslim community. So we're all together.
We shouldn't isolate ourselves,
Yes. And
which
so-
is what we do. And sometimes they tell people, don't eat the meat. They, okay, your neighbor brings them
Rice and meat.
rice and meat for Ileya, and you tell your children, don't touch it. That's wrong. As a Christian, you're supposed to just bless the food and eat with love, because you must trust and obey, believe that God will preserve you, even if there is anything evil about it, of which in most cases, it's just out of love they are giving
You'll
you.
be eating this with your children. What's in this?
Well, we have not died. Also, we're the ones who even throw evil thoughts onto things. Even if there is evil in it, even the Bible says it, that as far
bless
as
the
you
food
don't
and
know, just eat it, you'll be okay.
Okay, I have Temitope from Kano. Temitope, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good
Thanks for
morning.
calling. Baraka de Salah.
Same to you. How are you doing?
Very well.
well.
Tell us what you're doing for Salah today.
I'm resting at home. I'm doing one or two work, wishing all my Muslim friends a happy Salah celebration.
Okay.
But you're calling from Kano. How is it
I
in
wanted
Kano?
to say that the cooking does not concern him.
It was
He's
me.
only to eat.
Kano is beautiful.
Yes.
Kano is beautiful. The weather is a bit cool, warm, not too hot.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
So lots of places to
Perfect weather
visit
for-
for meat,
for
I'm
Salah.
sure.
Ah,
Are you
nice.
visiting places today? Are you visiting anyone?
Oh, lost them.
Oh, we lost him. All right, let's go. Let's go. Do you have any tweets? telling
Yes,
us about Salah?
just somebody saying your outfit today is sweet and you look stunning, Morayo. That's Ennis Israeli.
This
Tosin Code says, Baka the Salah to my Muslim faithful in the house. Good to see you, Jumoke, back in the house. Love you all. Then there's Spotty Wale. Please, can I correct Miriam on the man that killed a monarch? Miriam said the man had mental issues. No, the man is mentally deranged and mad. Psychosis. Everyone has mental issues, but it does not mean we are all mad.
All right, gotcha. All right, let me just say our last call, so we're going to break. Sadiq from Kaduna. Sadiq, are you there? Baraka Salah.
Mara, good morning. Back on the Salah to you all.
How many rams are you killing?
No, I'm killing one.
Okay, that's good enough.
Fantastic. That's
So
good.
we thank God that even the north here, the Salah is going free, nothing like any insurgency attack, nothing. So we
Praise
thank
God for
Almighty God
Very
for
true.
something. I wish you happy Salah.
All right, thank you so much, Sadiq. All right, let's go. We're going to go on a break now because now we've celebrated Salah. We're excited and we thank God for it, but it's a very sensitive issue happened over the weekend, and everybody's been talking about it. It's about the demolition of Yinka Ayefele's building. Now, it's unfair to just say one side and not hear the other side. So we've heard Yinka Ayefele's side. We have the emotions out there, the sentiments, oh, this happened. Let's hear from the government side, and then we'll hear your views on both parties' explanation for why that thing happened. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So just last weekend, the Oyo State government demolished the multi-million naira radio station, Fresh FM building, owned by ace musician Yinka Ayefele for allegedly contravening town planning law of the state. To enlighten us more on the issue with us is the Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism of Oyo State, Mr. Toye Arulogun. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You can give us your view on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV so we can read your tweets. All right, so the information out there is that the real reason behind the demolition was about the letter that was sent to Ayefele concerning libelous utterances towards the governor, and he was asked to retract that and pay 500 million. And because that wasn't done, that was why this building was demolished. But you're coming out to say, no, there were other issues. Could you tell us exactly why that building was demolished and why dialogue wasn't exhausted before that point?
All right, let me start by wishing all our Muslim brothers and sisters Barakah de Salah. For those of us who have like a Muslim father and a Christian mother. This is, yes, exactly. Let me also appreciate the management of TVC, and I want to put it on record. I listened to you guys yesterday, so I was the one who called, and I said, please, you need to give us the opportunity to do this, and I appreciate the fact that it has come to be. Yeah. Now, this issue is not between Fresh FM and Oyo State government. It is between Music House and Oyo State government. Okay. This building plan or no building plan, demolition or no demolition matter is not a fresh case. Okay. Since 2017. Yes. Okay? And I'd like to just get my papers out so that we can understand it. 14th of June, a request for approval was sent to Music House and 22 other radio stations in Oyo State. It's not targeted. This year? 2017, last year. How can it be related to a case of libel or no libel? And we'll get to it. And I'm not here to defend. I just want to lay the facts bare. That you guys judge whether it is right or wrong. Okay. And there are basic things that I want us to understand. One, it is not a fresh case. Yeah, started last year. Yes. So letters were written, reminder letters were written. Finally, they came up with their plan. When government saw the plan, they said, okay, let's go and inspect the site. They got to the site with the Music House personnel, and they found out that there were serious infractions. Okay. And I'd like to list them so that we can understand, because we are talking about contravention of planning laws. Okay. Now, the first thing is that the building size measured 29.7 meters by 21.6 meters on ground, as against the 11.925 meters by 10.2 meters in the survey plan. Music House had extended, had taken more than it was given. Okay. So that was number one contravention. Yes, and I'm starting from the ground, because the land on which Music House stands right now, or before it was partially demolished, does not belong to him. Okay, so the next... The next one, the building encroached on the site distance at the Y junction. If you're coming from Lagelu Estate, and I have the drawing here so that we can understand ourselves. Now, there's something called site distance, which is when you're coming onto the main road, you should be able to see the car coming from here. It had become a blind spot because of that building. Okay. Okay?
Sorry, now, before you move on, how long has this building been a blind spot in that area?
Well, I think the approval was in 2008 or so, if I'm
So
not
that building
mistaken.
has been standing for 10 years?
Yes,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter really, even if they say government approved it. Government has the right to correct its mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
And we got petitions from the residents. We also got petitions because in the last 9 months, and I'm saying that 3 fatal accidents have happened there.
Yes.
This is fact. I'm not talking anything else. Okay? Now, if you look at that building, there are a lot of things that are not in the plan that were standing there.
Yes, including the radio mast.
For example, yes, because the permission or the approval was for an office complex.
Yeah.
Now, if you turn it into a studio, you have to erect a mast. A mast is development. That mast had fallen before. We were just lucky. All right? So there were toilets attached
Sir,
to the building. Yes.
honestly, I do understand
Yes.
that there were infractions
Yes.
and that it was there was a due process followed gladly.
Yeah.
However, people said that there's a case in court that the demolition process itself, because obviously Yinka Ayefele got wind of the fact that his building was about to demolish, and he went to the court, which is to file a stay of judgment. While it was being processed, the case was adjourned. Why would they speed up the
demolition?
Implementing the demolition on a Sunday morning when there's still a case in court and it's been adjourned? So what would
We're going to go to court on Monday,
what
safe.
would the judge now preside upon?
All right. I think this is a legal issue. And let me also correct the fact that, or some of the things that are going around that Oyo State denied, in court. No, it didn't happen that way. For those of them that are lawyers, I'm sure they know how they play the game. What the Oyo State government lawyer said in court was that they cannot come to court to say that the building has been demolished. No evidence, no affidavit. Okay, that's what he said. I said he's not aware. Sometimes you can say he's not known to the court.
Yes.
Because you have to go through due process to serve.
So was it malicious that the government of Oyo State speedily demolished on a Sunday before?
No. I have not gotten to that.
It's
because
correcting what the lawyer
exactly,
said.
because that's important. Everybody says Oyo State denies.
Yeah.
After that, we had a
Was
press
it Tribune,
conference.
right?
We had a
Yes.
press conference. And we owned up to it.
Yes.
Because the agency that did the partial demolition, and this is also important, it's partial demolition. It's not the entire building.
Yes, we saw pictures. It's
Okay.
still
Oyo State
standing.
government took back the land that had been encroached on and the illegal structures which were not in the original plan.
Man, okay.
Now, when it relates to the issue of the court, now they went to court on Thursday. The judge said, go and serve Oyo State government. No pronouncement, no court injunction, no, don't do it, no, don't do that. Now, as at yesterday, the lawyer for Oyo State government went to court to say, he was even called yesterday morning to go and was briefed about the case yesterday morning. He said Oyo State had not been served. And they put service, or they gave service to some dead agencies or ministries.
In Oyo State?
Yes, those that had been abrogated, or they had been cancelled or abrogated since 2014, or some of them 2012. So the agency that went to carry out the partial demolition was not served.
Was not served. So did not know that the court had put a stay on demolition.
The court did not put a stay. They didn't even hear the case.
Okay.
So they argued it yesterday. Yes.
I read the press release where your government was saying why we did this, and anybody who looks at it will seem valid.
Why are you saying sim?
On face level, based on, for instance, you sent the NBC a letter saying that this building, and NBC said building is not under
It wasn't just the music house.
Yes.
It was about all the other stations. And let me describe what happens in the scene, in the broadcast scene in Oyo State. In 2015, there were like 5 or 6 radio stations. Now we are like 27. And Ibadan, the capital city, is not that big. They don't have structure. So everybody is converting residential to commercial buildings. And all government said, come and regularize them. And yesterday we showed them letters from Beat FM, Niger FM, Petals FM. They responded. Okay, so it's not targeted at music. It's not about music. Now, when they were not cooperating, the Physical Planning Unit wrote to National Broadcasting Commission, not just they wrote to NCC, and on the banks, they wrote to Central Bank, because banks are now building ATMs, and it's not part of the original plan.
Were you writing NBC based on their license, which is the purview of NBC? You wrote to NBC based on this building You know, and they said, no, that's if you're talking about building, go to lands. It's not our issue.
No, let's get it right.
Yeah.
When the radio stations were not cooperating, when the banks were not cooperating, they wrote to the supervisory body, to the regulatory body. It's not... Look, government had already built its case, from what I've seen here, okay, because I wasn't the one who wrote the letter. It was the physical planning unit. They felt that NBC should talk to the radio stations, and it wasn't on Music House. I can tell you, this is it here. It's clear. And they responded.
It wasn't on Fresh FM, you mean?
The Music House.
Okay. Is a building that houses Fresh FM.
Yeah, because we need to make that distinction, because everybody is talking about politically motivated.
The house has been
we'll
there
get
for
there.
many years before
Yeah,
it became
exactly,
fresh,
yes.
and I know.
Yes.
Okay, so...
and if you look at it, and I would like you guys to say, your cameraman, let him go. That building sticks out like a sore thumb. Okay. Don't let us kid ourselves. You know, and like I said, I don't want to get as if I'm gloating over somebody's misfortune, but this is the truth. We are talking about the controversial planning laws, and government made overtures not just to him, to everybody. And I'm saying that government, I'm a JC, unfortunately so, government should be of laws rather than of men. Okay. And in that state, there have been bigger boys in court. The governor's in-law, twice, we took his house up for development. All right? The governor's leader and the father of the immediate past head of service, when his father was when he was head of service, we took his father's house. Okay. Alhaji did a map.
Sorry, sir.
We took 2 petrol stations in Wuro. No, I'm just trying to explain some of this. So it's not about anybody.
It's not personal. Okay,
University of Ibadan, we still it up because they have a conference center. That conference center is not part of the original plan of UI. Right.
That's it's very important that you mentioned that, so people are able to see both sides. Yeah. And we're happy that the government is trying to do the right thing. But is there a right way to do the right thing? I'm looking at this from the human angle. You know, they were talking there about, 200 jobs will be lost by this demolition. I'm just saying, could there have been a better way to have handled this?
Certainly so. I agree with you.
And what happened? Why do we have to be on TV, who are crying? And then you know what is unfortunate? It's also sort of like towards election season. People are saying it looks bad on your government. You know, could you have done in a way that it did not look that, you know?
The first part, the best option, was that the best option?
I agree absolutely. Yeah. There can never be one way to do anything. Mm-hmm. Life is about options. Life is about choices. Yes. When government writes any individual, organization, or institution, you must come forward to government. You don't go to the media. That's where it broke down. You don't go to the media. You don't go and start doing, hey, we're abusing the governor. Mm-hmm. That's not it. And if you don't come forward, government will not know your intentions. And government gave a demolition notice. All they needed to do was to come forward. Because government was not saying we are going to... Government's letter before the demolition notice was, come forward, let us regularize.
Yes.
No. No. The demolition notice was 3 days. Yes.
Okay, so I agree. In Lagos State, we've seen this happen a lot. Buildings taken down, road expansions have happened, and banks had to cut their building in half. But the inhuman nature of very early in the morning, we are hearing phone calls, they are demolishing and things, properties are still inside. Yes. And these are my issue. You could put your demolition truck there, and you say, we have set the timer. Move things that are valuable to you out. This is how far we're going to take it out. We mean business. Yes. And we're taking it out today. And we've seen that happen in Lagos.
I agree. I agree, and I'm saying that...
That's why the malicious statement comes in. That there's something
maybe, but we're just being sentimental. Because the adequate notice had been given. Mm-hmm. What happened? Why didn't they move their stuff out in 3 days? And after those 3 days, I think there were another 2 or 3 days. Why didn't they move it out? Okay, so these are the issues, and I'm even keeping my voice very low because I don't want to sound like I'm being aggressive about it because it's not typical me. Yes. You know, I'm like you guys. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a this, but I'm just trying to keep it low because I don't want the people to get the feeling that this man is gloating, is defending. No, I just want to lay the facts bare.
That last question of why didn't they move out their equipment in 3 days? They had gone to court.
They thought the law would.
And so the court had said, go and give them a notice.
Yes.
Ask them to come on Monday. And so why would I move my equipment to space that I do not have to move it to if we're already going to court?
I get your line of argument, but it has not turned out to be so because yesterday in court, there was no reprimand, no condemnation of Government's Act.
Okay, we're going to go on a break.
Because the law, the court did not say, don't do that.
Yeah. We're going to go on a break because I wanted to bring in the issue of the libel and the issue of the fact that people felt that, listen, this is just one person who has worked so hard. If you put his view, his condition, people just feel like a human face should have been put to this. I'd like us to address that because that's what the people are really talking about and we need to address it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
I'll try and get it from somebody.
Thanks for staying with us. So I was going to go back to the video that went viral about the governor seeming to wear a human face. When he visited Fresh FM, the music house, and he was saying that it's a beautiful place, very nicely
Happy
done,
that we haven't demolished
happy
it.
that we haven't demolished. Like, people have been telling him to demolish, but he's not demolished. So he wore a human face saying, listen, I understand you guys are doing a great job, but people expected that same human face to be put on in this point where, yes, there are issues, but why can't we have that dialogue? So tell me, why wasn't that option really, really exhausted? Because according to Ayefele, his wife actually went to the governor's house. He even gave the wife, according to what I read, $1,000. Just said, don't worry, everything will be okay. And yet, it was still demolished.
Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened between Ayefele's wife going to the governor and all of that. I wasn't there. Neither was I there when the governor made the statement. That was the interregnum where, when the governor had not appointed a fresh cabinet, there was 1 year before, he had his cabinet. So I wasn't there. But I've listened to it, and I don't think that His Excellency is denying that. But when he got there, he talked more about the interior.
Yes, equipment.
He didn't talk about the exterior. Yeah. So that's very important. Yeah. Now, for those who advised him at that time, of course, he didn't demolish it because the reason they gave was political. Now,
because he's in the opposition.
Yes, and he did not follow the political reason. But now there is a planning law reason. And as at that time, the people that I mentioned that died, including the staff of Fresh FM, they had not died then. We had not received petitions there. And planning is dynamic. All right? The people that built their houses on Basharun and Akobo, they were on course. But now government wants to expand the road. They have to move.
Let me take a few questions from Twitter.
Yeah.
Kwali Ken Media Concept says, I think the government should start announcing such events on TV before taking action. We in remote areas, are we safe? Timothy says, the governor spoiled everything by making it look like some people want him to destroy the radio station. Ambassador Ayo George says, there's no way we can discuss this issue without being emotional, judging by the history of a prior plan to demolish the music house as confessed by the governor himself. It is political and it's a siege on the media. Tosin Code says, Mr. Arolo Gunsa, you said the ministry was not served a notice. Why must the demolition occur on a Sunday morning? Marvin Speaks says, no excuse. The Oyo State government, also known as constituted authority, should have been patient. You have to temper justice with mercy. I saw the government official demolishing the building and didn't even wait for them to remove their property. Is pure witch hunt.
Quick one. Lagbaja Omotamedu says that the fact that I am physically challenged and I have worked hard doesn't make me above the law. The needful has been done. Don't let us hide under the fact that we know that justice gets delayed in Nigeria. God bless you, our commissioner.
I wanted to ask about this justice and the timing of the justice in the terms that, yes, so they took land. Oh, they are blocking the road. 3 accidents. Ayefele was saying, okay, so when accidents happen at Ring Road, will you come and arrest me also? And that he got approval.
It's a very childish response. And don't let us even go there because I don't want to enter. I mean, nobody should talk like that, please. Accidents happen everywhere, all right? So don't let us go there. I don't want to go there.
We need to.
Let's elevate this discussion.
So, elevating the discussion to the timing of the demolition.
It's government's prerogative. Let's face it, it's government's prerogative. Government are giving you 3 days notice within the ambit of the law. Now, if government decides to do it Saturday or Sunday, it's not.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there? Thanks for calling. 3 days. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
I love what you guys are doing. I'm very impressed.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Commissioner Soye Arologun. I'm happy that Orologun and Kayode. Is there any policy of governments have to have positive impact on the society, not negative effect? You and I know that this thing is highly politically motivated. It's not today's case. It's belong. Don't shake your head. It's belong. We are on this thing. And when the governor himself was there, he said he was happy he did not listen to those people that say Ayefele is not part of them. Now, let's forget about that. Now, my point here is the case is already in court. We have a document that where you people are there for.
Okay,
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me interpret what I've understood, because it's important for our viewers to understand what the commissioner has communicated to me that I understand. Number one, yes, the past when the governor wanted to demolish, it was a political reason.
Yes.
And he did not demolish it
asked,
because
not wanted, he was asked to.
Or asked to, right? Well, it was a political reason. But today, they have actually a legal reason to demolish it because it's against the, contravening the planning law, number one. Number two, the other issue he raised, this last call, I can't remember, I just lost it. The other thing he just raised, I forgot.
Okay, while you were raising those issues, in my head is that, okay, so you have this planning law that you want to stick to, and you have written to all the organizations. And okay, so let us even assume that the government did not know that Ayefele had gone to court because they had not been served the summons, right? So if you waited from June last year when you started serving letters, why was your demolition notice just for 3 days? 3 days before the demolition happened. If you say that it's government prerogative for something that sensitive, you destroyed equipment. Even if your demolition notice was 6 months and you found equipment there, you say, we're about to pull this building down. Someone mentioned it. Remove your equipment.
Remove this AC.
What is a demolition notice?
Yes.
It's to tell you we're coming to destroy the building.
So what are we talking about?
But I'm saying that even if they did not do what you wanted them to do.
While I appreciate all the sentiments, and let us be clear, and I've said it, government is of laws and not of men. It might be difficult to understand government's position, but here we're talking about what the law says. Everybody has a right to it, and that's why I'm also calm myself, because I don't want to be seen to be gloating.
Right.
But I'm saying that government said we are coming to demolish it in 3 days. Why was the matter not resolved? Which is the very first question.
Yes.
In 1 year.
Yes.
Why okay, government gave you 3 days. Did you write to government to say, sorry, we are in the process of doing X, Y, Z, or this is what we are going to do? That's exactly what every other person did.
Let me
So it's not, you don't fight a planning law via social media or going to do abusing the government. It doesn't happen like that.
You write letters.
And exactly. And so let them come forward with their own letter, okay, which says that, we had said, okay, we are in the process of because yesterday I heard they said it takes time for us to do a new design. Fine, no problem. Did you communicate that to government?
Okay. So for me...
It was in defiance, and it was even there in their letter, it was in defiance of government's order.
Okay, I see the government's point now that I've heard the government side, and I think it's important that actions like this are taken, no matter how painful. They will always be painful. There's no painless way to do a demolition. But my question is, that building has been there for 10 years. It has caused several accidents. If it was done during that time, it would look good on you too. Another thing that's putting you on the hot seat, people are talking of a man in a wheelchair who has, done something with his life.
Empowered himself and 200 others.
And so many people. So I'm wondering, is the Oyo State, those are the things that you should be looking at. Do you have an explanation for that?
I agree. Look,
Thirdly,
let me face
just before you answer, you had a situation a while back, we read it, I think it's Oyo State, I hope I'm not mistaken, about blind people who were marching against the government because the land has been encroached upon. Do you remember that story?
Not Oyo State.
Okay, so...
Okay, let me answer it this way. Now, all the sentiments I totally agree with. I have no dispute with that. But I'm also saying that there was ample opportunity for this thing to be resolved, okay? Because like I said, they were not communicated to government. And let them come up with a letter that says, this is what we would like to do, we're in the process. It never happened. Now, what is important is this. Nobody is bigger than the law.
We agree.
That's what the law says. Now, if you had come...
Was it a show of power?
No, even if you had come to say, look, we have to move you here, I need to get this... And when they go to court, really, maybe they will be asking for 1 or 2 things and all of that, no problem. But what government has done is, one, to recover the land that had been encroached upon and remove all the attachments which were not in the original plan. They are still transmitting. The workers are still there.
Right.
So all these people are losing life. But there's a very important question which you asked, and I need to answer that. When you talk about political motivation, when you talk about Arulogun, because that's the name now that is the buzzword, fine, no problem. But let me tell you what happened, because I'm not a coward. And like the caller said, I'm an Arulogun, and you know what that means. But let me say it clearly. The issue of the abattoir kebab, okay? This letter, remember, is 2017. So it had nothing to do with this abattoir kebab. But they contravened the law. And I reported them to NBC. NBC sanctioned them. They said the governor negotiated shares for himself in the abattoir, which was false. And they did a tepid retraction. The governor said he was too lukewarm, that he will sue them. Simple. It had nothing else to do with this. The abattoir case had not come up before this 2017 letter to them. Before the inspection.
But they're not the only buildings that are contravening the planning
Everybody
law.
has been written to. And let me say this, when you talk about contravention, if you go to Ibadan, and this is where our people resist change. Ibadan has no master plan.
We can see it.
Exactly. So, you know, you've told me you can see it. So how are we going to develop the city? How are we going to transfer it?
Unemployment high.
Yes, we are working on that.
And so you now demolish a building that is
no, partial demolish, partial demolish, partial. Don't let us get, it was partial.
And it's important that we should realize that the government is doing the right thing here. So
Exactly, the government is doing, because, you see, and I don't have any issues with you being sentimental. I'm also sentimental myself. But whatever it is, that is the law, is what we should be talking about.
We have to run, but let me take a
And they've gone to court. When we get to court, they can resolve it. It's not a...
People Speak says, now we know better why the Oyo State government demolished our Yinka Ayefele radio house, but should have been considered and relocated to a safer place. We need to empower our citizens, especially the handicapped. Kindly compensate him. He needs our support. Marve Speak says, Ayefele is proving to people that there is ability in disability. In other developed countries, he would have been receiving money for being disabled, but in Nigeria, he's not. He hustles like everyone else with 2 hands and no legs.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take. But thank you very much, sir, for coming. I think you've been able to put some light on this so we see both sides of the story. That's all we can take on the show at this point. Join us tomorrow for our live audience show. Come early so you can get a seat. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.